Hey everyone, I'm going to be testing out a kind of day in the life video and some new video editing software I have gotten so that we can start trying to up the quality of the videos that we're bringing to you guys. So for now, I am working on just photoshopping the latest screenshot I have for the video that I filmed last night, the kitchen tour. And then as soon as I am done with that and updating the video and uploading it, yeah, that's Sage on my desk. As soon as I'm ready, or as soon as I'm finished with that, I will be setting up my studio workspace, and I have 5 rings to make today. I've got orders shipping out all over today, actually. I've got one going to the UK, one going to Canada, and I don't remember those. Like, I remember the ones that are not in the US because those are special to me. But, well, they're all special to me, but you know what I mean? Like, the other ones really, like, they stick with me. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that done, and then I don't know what else is happening today, if it's gonna be more of a business day or if I'm gonna get any other kind of housework prepping stuff done. I definitely need to do some work in the garden, so we'll see kind of what the day holds, because I never really know for sure exactly what I'm doing every day. I kind of get a general idea, but you know, she is kind of my main job. So now she's in between the desk and the window. So we'll just sort of like, yeah. Yeah. Are you having fun?
No, I can be girls, but
yeah, you have the charms? Those are my charms I got.
I got
Yeah. All right. Mommy's working.
okay.
Working. Yes. Are you going to help?
Help.
Help. Yeah. So probably not would be the answer. But yeah, I'm just, you know, I use old, we have like ancient technology. So it is not the most ideal thing for, you know, trying to do a YouTube channel, but I do the best I can with what I have, and I just sort of make it work. So yeah, it's not, like I said, yeah, not the easiest thing around, but we just sort of do what we can with what we have. And like I said, we're working on figuring out how to increase the quality and bring you guys something that's really worth watching. So we super appreciate everybody who is sticking with us even in these kind of early beginner days and not expecting too much out of us yet. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get this all finished and uploaded, like I said, and then I'll go ahead and set up my studio space, which transforms this. I start basically pulling down all that stuff that's up there and putting it on the desk, and then she can't be on the desk anymore once I start doing that. But anyway, all right, here I go. Okay, so the video is up. My desk is all set up, so I thought I would show you guys that. Sage is off the desk and not happy about it. But yes, I will go ahead and get these rings made and then probably head outside. And yeah, I think I am going to go ahead and transfer plants today and go outside and work. And she always has a lot of fun out there, so that's not always the hardest thing to do. But I think I'm going to transfer a bunch of cabbage plants and then clear a bed for planting garlic. So anyway, but first, here's the desk set up. And yeah, like I said, I'm making rings today. So I have 2 different kinds of rings, 2 different kinds of wire. It's my little mandrel set up. I stamp the rings and all that fire over there. And yeah, it's pretty great. I really love my little space. I love my work, and that's always a bonus, even if it is challenging getting things done with a 2-year-old running around. But that is life, and obviously she is a hugely wonderful part of it. So we work around all that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this work done, and I guess probably see you guys when we go outside. Okay, so I am outside and looking around at what I need to get done. There's definitely plenty of weeding Although I think that maybe some boys are going to need to come out here later to do some weeding. And I will focus on transplanting and getting stuff ready for future preservation. I have a ton of cabbage seedlings that need to be moved. And like I said before, a bed that I need to clear to make room for garlic planting. Wow, look at that. I am in the process of awkwardly growing my hair out, so it's going to be awkward for quite a while. But yeah, it's kind of frustrating right now actually, because it's the middle of November, and while we have a very mild fall and quote unquote winter here anyway, this year is, and it feels like every year honestly, is getting hotter and hotter and hotter. I think just kind of the more people move here, this is central Arizona, tons of people are moving here, and every year the city expands more. There's more pavement, and so this is kind of my thought, is that, like, because I remember when I first moved here probably close to 30 years ago, it still actually got cool at night, you know, and the desert is supposed to get cool at night. But it doesn't do that anymore at all. And so it's like pushing later and later and later every year. We're ending up with super hot, kind of record hot temperatures, and plants are getting confused. It never gets cold enough for a lot of them to do certain things, like where they go dormant and go into certain processes that they need to go into. So there's a lot of fruit trees that we can't grow here because of that already, but it's getting worse. So we're having 90-degree days in the middle of November, and we're just kind of tired. We're tired of it. It's, you know, it's long. It's been a really long, hot summer, and I am ready for some cool weather, but we're not getting it. So I don't know. It's kind of making me think again. I don't know how much longer we're going to live here. I don't believe it is sustainable for this level of population to be in a place, especially when you have, gosh, I'm like, how crazy do I get? Hey, it's a prepping channel. I can get as crazy as I want to get. You have basically government sanctioned monopolies of power companies here. So it's like a really interesting thing that Arizona has, where our power companies, APS and SRP, are essentially allowed to be monopolies here. And then they're supposed to be regulated by government agencies, who are of course manned by people that used to work for the corporations. So it feels like the FDA and like Monsanto, like, but on a smaller scale, because for like, seriously, we have literally maybe a week of cloudy days out of a year. We should have solar panels on every roof. We should be producing clean energy here that we can use to support our own population, but then also send out, you know? So how on earth is that not happening? There's all kinds of regulations, all kinds of fees, all kinds of blockages towards any kind of significant movement towards solar power. And I believe with all my heart, it's got to do with those corporations wanting to maintain their monopoly, their legal monopolies. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, like I said, it's a prepping channel. I guess I can talk about crazy things here. So I don't know. Like I said, it's just not sustainable. I don't like how I'm seeing things go. So on the one hand, I'm having a much longer season on certain things like my hibiscus and my jalapenos, but the hibiscus even is kind of going because it likes it really hot, but then certain things are still not coming up. I'm still not getting germination of lettuce. I'm still not seeing things, you know, and I've only been gardening now for 5 or 6 years at this point. And so I'm already seeing changes, and I have a calendar that used to serve me very well, and now it's almost like I'm having to move back the dates. I don't know that we're going to have a long enough season to even grow garlic this year. So I have some strategies I'm going to kind of move towards figuring out if I can manage to do it. I have a couple of beds that almost, they get like not very much sun. Our 2 newest beds are very close to the house. They don't get much sun at all. So I'm going to be planting garlic in those beds, and also probably trying to sow some lettuce, and hopefully it'll actually come up. I think this is going to be 2 years now. I haven't gotten any lettuce if I don't manage to get some lettuce coming up. So we've kind of switched to bok choy, and then the kale is kind of like just reliable and faithful, and so I don't worry about the kale. That always comes up, but the bok choy comes up so we can kind of use the leafy part as our lettuce and salads and things like that. But I miss like romaine, you know, and crunchy things in my salads. And I do, like, over the fall and winter I don't buy greens because I don't know, I grow them, and so I miss salads, and I like with those greens, and so I'm gonna have to start figuring out my lettuce situation here. Anyway, I didn't mean to talk about all that, but this is what's on my mind out here. And just like I said, it's hot. It's hot and it's the middle of November. Thanksgiving is next week and I'm sweating already just from being outside. And it just gets, I know that people in colder climates are like, oh, you know, dealing with like frozen pipes and toilet. I get that that's like kind of more difficult. I'm just psychologically, the summer stretching out longer every year is just like, oh, like we're just ready for some relief and some cool weather. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get to my watering and figuring out my transplanting and making my little laundry list for the boys to come out here and do their chores. So anyway, kind of good thing though. Here, let me switch you around. And Sage, you know, playing in the dirt like she does. The pumpkins. So this is a kind of another example where we're getting a longer season. I planted pumpkins really late again this year. And this is the one that's doing the best of all of them. So I'm actually getting ready to pull the other two I planted because they're not doing well at all. And plants that don't do well, when you leave them in the ground, they attract their pests. They're attracting their predators because a lot of times what we think of as pests and predators are really just there to do a job. They're there to, you know, take care of old vegetation and all of that. So they're actually doing the job they were designed to do, but it's annoying to us. So I don't want to attract pests to my good pumpkin by leaving the ones that are not doing well in the ground. But I have, you know, lemon balm is doing great. That's all my cabbage I have to transplant out. And yeah, my mint is doing not nearly as well as it usually does. By now, usually this bed would be half full of mint. I blame the heat on that again. So I was just sort of having to almost relearn and observe. And I'm really grateful I'm not trying to start from scratch at this point. And I kind of already know at least what I know, which is admittedly not a ton. But you know, it's not nothing. So, all right, here I go, getting work done. And Sage, stop throwing dirt on a pumpkin plant. Are you putting dirt on that plant? Of course she is. Oh my gosh. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna go. So I came back inside from doing all of that weeding that I said I was going to have the boys do. And the dryer was no longer running with all the towels I just put in there, and it seems like the dryer is broken again. Adam literally just fixed it, so we might be on our way out. So luckily we still have our big drying rack, which I love, from when we were doing all the cloth diapering. So I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and get all the towels out and get them onto this rack, and maybe some of this late year heat will actually end up helping us out to, you know, dry some of this stuff faster than it otherwise would have dried. So there we go. And then I will finish orders and do my packaging. But first this. All right. Okay, so towels are on the rack, and I am so grateful that this happened on a load of towels and cloths and napkins and the paper towels and, well, quote unquote paper, not really paper, but you know, my reusable cloths for the kitchen. And oh my gosh, because regular clothes would have been a lot harder to hang on here, but I need to figure out a solution for in case this ever happened on a load of real clothes. I guess they could just hang on the bottom racks, but like I said, I'm very happy I have this. I'm glad I decided to keep it because I was debating whether or not I would keep it. And She's been playing with her brother, so. Anyway, I was debating whether or not I would keep it, and I'm really glad I decided to, because this was basically exactly the scenario that went on in my mind. What if I lose power to my dryer and I need something to hang a bunch of stuff on? And sure enough, here we are. Something's up with the dryer, so I can still dry my load of towels, but unfortunately, I probably am not going to be washing any more clothes today. So fortunately also, I've recently washed some clothes, so we should be good for a little while, at least until Adam gets home and takes apart the dryer and figures it out. So we have another drying rack here just for hand, or, you know, dry clothes, not hand dry clothes, you know what I mean, air dry clothes. Anyway, that typically kind of hang between the slats. This is an old, you know, I'm actually not sure what that is. It's an old something that Adam kind of jerry-rigged a thing for drying the air dry clothes that goes up like that. So probably a lot of the clothes I could have just hung up here. Anyway, but yeah, the big blanket from our picnic went there. The dryer the washer always stays open. And then I'm leaving the dryer open because I don't know how wet these dryer balls got. So I use wool dryer balls, which I made before I went vegan. I'm sure I'd find another solution if I had to at this point, but it was already done. And so I'm not getting rid of them. They're already made. But yeah, I made them myself because I wasn't going to buy them. They were crazy expensive when I went to buy them. And they work so fantastic. And that was another one of those zero waste decisions I made because I was sick of buying dryer sheets, quite frankly. I had read about the chemicals, but really it was the annoyance of having to have another thing on my list at the store. And then occasionally forgetting to put that thing on my list at the store and then being out of dryer sheets. And it's like, how do I dry stuff without dryer sheets? Anyway, I don't like having to think of things that I don't have to think about. So, yeah. Anyway, okay. Towels are on the drying rack. Thank God I still have that. And now I was going to start doing orders. So that's funny, like you think, oh, we just have a few orders to do today. Oh my gosh. But things just happen, you know, they just do. And you just sort of roll with it. And so now, because it took so much time to get all this done, oh yeah, and bigger towels are hanging on dining chairs in the house. But anyway, because it took so long to get all this done, now I need to make lunch. Then I'll do orders, but actually Sage needs to get changed, and we'll see if a bath needs to happen right now or if that can happen later. She's definitely gonna need one today. You guys saw, okay. Okay, making lunch. I have enough leftovers in the fridge to make a whole lunch. So when stuff like that happens, you know, back in the day when cash used to be more in use and like you'd, I don't know, empty your pockets to do your laundry or something, or get an old coat out of the closet, you find 20 bucks in the pocket and you're just like, ah, it's that, for me, leftovers, like enough leftovers for lunch the next day is like the same exact feeling. So, yay, especially with the dryer breaking and stuff. So that's awesome. Things are working out. But I've got leftovers of the soup I was talking about in my kitchen project tour video yesterday. So it's, here, this is gonna be awkward, but here, there's some hand wash dishes that need to be done, but we've got the creamy broccoli and green soup with the apples and the tofu in there, and then I've got leftover rice. And so I'm gonna be crumbling up rice into the soup and heating it up on the stove, and that's gonna be lunch. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish that up for everyone and dish it out, and then do the finishing. Actually, while this is heating up, I'm gonna pull stuff out of the tumbler and get all that starting to be taken care of, and do the finishing on the rings and packaging on some other stuff, and just get everything ready to head out to the post office, hopefully by the 3:30 pickup time. So it's exciting. All right, we're doing packaging now, and are you all set with your sorting? Nice. She's gonna help because she didn't take a nap. So this day is a hilarious day to be trying to film stuff. All right. Yep, here we go. We're doing packaging. This is basically where Sage lives now, in between my desk and the window. She absolutely loves it over there. And yeah, I'm gonna lose every single one of these charms, I think. But she loves sorting and learning the words. And it's just one of the ways I can keep her occupied while I work in here, because I work in here quite a lot. Sage, what is this one?
This is good for a flower.
Hmm?
Fly.
Butterfly. Oh, could you find me a dinosaur?
Dinosaur.
Where is a dinosaur?
Dinosaur.
Yeah, you're right.
Dinosaur.
Yeah, good job.
Uh,
Owl, yes. Guitar, uh-huh. That's just a pretty filigree piece. This is stuff I used to make a lot of stuff that had more of these kinds of things and beads, but I don't do any of that anymore. It's all silver now. That I sell anyway. I do wow, lots of charms. I do a charity show where I bring this stuff back out and give it away, basically. So yeah, it's fun to be creative in this way again too. So all right, so I probably have enough footage to do like 3 videos, but I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day and see if I can figure out how to get this edited. Obviously, if you're seeing this, then I did, and I'm working. Gosh, look at this. Ugh. I'm working towards, like I said, doing better and better quality videos, because also a lot of the content that I want to share, like showing how I make my sourdough bread or certain things like that. Like Adam has some things that he wants to film and start sharing, kind of repair type things and things that he builds, and more of his blacksmithing too, as he's doing his blacksmithing. That is so cool. And so there's just a lot of ideas that we have that will not work unless we start having more editing and whatnot. So we're just growing and improving every day. And then at first, I basically just started posting because I needed to get back into the habit of adding filming back into my life, and, you know, posting videos at all. And so just sort of getting back into the habit of thinking of content and creating content and making content and folding that into my life, and just do it, even though it was imperfect. And so just get it out there anyway. And then now, sure enough, I've gotten used to that. So now my obsession has become, how do we make it better quality? How do I make it more, you know, cinematic, like some of the stuff that I watch, and it's so beautifully done and all that. And so figuring out how to do that. Obviously this is not going to be like cinematic and pretty with like music and perfect shots or anything like that, but I'd love to work up to stuff like that, because I love watching videos that make me feel good, but then also like really informative videos. So probably some of the simple style is never going to go away, but hopefully and I'm so sorry, I'm just so distracted by my hair. Oh my gosh. But I want to start putting more stuff on that is more like kind of what I'm envisioning, like especially anything that has anything to do with my herbal videos and mixing and all that. I just feel like it should have a certain feel, and so I need to learn how to do that. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and quit. It is about 5 o'clock, so that means that it's about time for me to start figuring out what on earth we are doing for dinner. I know I should meal plan. You would think as a prepper I would be better at like meal planning and stuff, but I'm not. I don't know. Well, part of it too is like not knowing what's going to be coming in from the garden, not going, you know, so it's like, I don't know. I just sort of figure it out from what we have on hand, and it never takes very long for me to come up with something. But yeah, anyway, I guess that's all. So as always, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and let me know what you thought about my crazy day in the life impromptu video. I wonder if any of my towels are dry yet. I was really wanting to get a shower.
No.
Like, I have a towel, you know? What are you doing, you silly girl? I have a towel, right? Like, I don't like to use a different towel, so I wonder if my towel is dry. It's like... Anyway, ooh, God bless you. So, yeah. All right, I'm gonna go, for real. As always, I hope the rest of your day is good and your life stays wonderful. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys later. Bye. All right. Did you want to say goodbye?
Yes, bye.
Bye. Oh, good job. Yay. High five. Yay. Good job.